What's going on, y'all? We back with another video today. Welcome to my channel. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe. If you're new, please make sure you subscribe and like this video. I hope y'all been prayed up today. I got another crazy video for you guys today. And let's get straight to it, man. Got some crazy stuff going on in this world today. Every day. Let's do it.
This is a picture of the man who wrote the King James Version of the Bible, or at least he's given the credit for writing it. He was a supreme slave master, King James. In fact, it was King James who threw slavery into high gear. In fact, it was the slaves were brought to Jamestown. They named, in 1619, they named the place where they brought the first slave.
Oh yeah, just want to let y'all know. I got my wine with me today. If you're watching this, you got a blunt, got a drink. Take a shot. Take a puff of me, man.
Slaves after King James, the Bible man. Okay, so we have to start really looking at these things. Of course, King James dealt very, very highly in witchcraft. Most of us are familiar with his book, the Bible, but how many are you familiar with his other book? Is there anybody in here familiar with his other book? He also wrote a book on witchcraft. And this is a library book, so I didn't write it or anything, but you can send the pictures back up here, because I need to keep them together. Thank you. Oh, okay, send them around this way. This is a picture, this is a copy of King James's book on witchcraft. Particular book on witchcraft, he deals with the art of imitation. See, the media is all about imitation. Children were often the victims of witches. So we have here, now these are not black people on this picture. These are Europeans. And they are doing their sacrificing children. You will see a nun kneeling, and you will see, but they're kneeling at the behind of a goat.
We knew they do this stuff.
This is a picture of the man.
We know they do this type of stuff. We know they sacrifice children, guys. So it ain't nothing new, but it's still crazy. It's still crazy.
I won't change your little town. Your own children will. Your children will see us. Your children will love us. And your children will join us.
I don't know about you, America, but I take that as a threat. And this is not the first time. I don't know what their obsession is with our children. They want to go to the libraries and read our kids' books. They want to put it in the cartoons. They want to say things like this. I know you guys remember the little choir that they had singing, "We're coming after your children." This is why I refuse to be silenced. Come after my children if you want to, and watch what happened to you.
Watch what happened. I swear. Watch what happens.
You've crossed the line.
Watch what happens.
That's why we need to speak up.
Playing with mine.
That's why we need to say something.
Playing with mine.
Now the Bible tells us that we should love our neighbors, but it doesn't tell us that we have to love your actions. Now I know y'all have your own free will to make whatever choices y'all want, but please leave our children out of whatever y'all have going on.
Man.
If you made it to the end, please like, please share.
It's like, okay, we get it. You're that way, we get it. Like, I'm straight, and I'm not just out there holding signs that I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be like that, that's cool, but don't start putting it in schools where our kids go, and then you're trying to take look at this. It's so crazy. They're trying to take God out of the schools, but then they're trying to put this type of stuff in schools. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But like he said, go after mines and see what happens. Come after mines and see what happens.
At this point, I think Democrats are asking for a civil war. Take a look at this.
Illegal immigrants to up to $100,000 each to buy a home.
What?
So the program is called the California Dream for All program. It's created to help middle and income home buyers. Now, initially, the program required residents to be here legally, either a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident. But last week, Assembly Democrats
This is beyond me.
Republican opposition, changing that eligibility to say this.
The social and economic benefits of homeownership should be accessible to everyone, regardless of immigration status.
Let me get this straight. You're gonna give illegal immigrants $100,000 to buy a home when they came here illegally? What about Americans? What about veterans?
What about us?
These people broke the law and you rewarded them with $100,000 of my earned tax money to buy a home. Meanwhile, I have to pay for a loan with my earned hard cash, working 60 to 70 hours a week just to pay for my mortgage. And you're just going to hand out $100,000 to illegal immigrants? At this point, I think Democrats really want a civil war because this is not going to go well. This is not going to go well. Americans are being treated like third world people, and illegal immigrants are
in
treated
their own
better
country
than American citizens. What the?
It's like, honestly, I'm like, okay, they giving that to y'all, cool. But then again, I'm like, I'm mad that we're not getting the same treatment. I ain't never been no hater. You get your money, you get your money. But it's like, damn, can we get some love too, America? We're actually American. Can we get some love too? It's crazy, y'all. It's like, I feel like younger people, like teenagers, they probably like, oh, leave the immigrants alone, da da da. But like, start paying some bills. Start doing, you feel me? Start when you get older, 24 and up type shit. It's like, okay, now I see why these people are mad about so and so when it comes to politics and shit like that. It's crazy.
You know, random variation, etc., is nearly impossible, and in fact, this has led the genetics crowd really into some really big problems trying to explain things like this. And so what they'll do is, yes, quite rightly, the mitochondrial DNA has fluctuated, and you can backtrack that fluctuation. But what else has happened in terms of other interventions to do with both the DNA and with the things that control what DNA does can actually happen an awful lot faster if deliberately put in there.
Right.
But there is a special, do you want to explain the special about melanin and how it protects the cell, the DNA inside the nucleus?
I mean,
that's very important.
Part of the reason you can't do these experiments, you know, where there's a lot of melanin around, the melanin actually in a lot of people, in black people, it's actually spread out through the skin. It spreads out through the cells and covers everything. But even in a lot of white people, the melanin actually will coat the nucleus of the cell. And therefore the DNA, your central DNA, even in white people, can be actually well protected from the actions of the ultraviolet light.
There's no doubt in people with higher melanin, natural higher melanin, that it's far more likely that that melanin will be coating the nucleus, the cell wall of the nucleus of the DNA. Now the point about that is that ultraviolet light, which is often used to splice DNA, is blocked by that melanin. It absorbs it. It doesn't allow it in to interfere with the DNA. And it could well be, and this is Nigel's thesis, that this was a blocker for them when they were trying to genetically alter the species. And therefore, when maybe just out of random mutation, something like an albino came along, they discovered, wow, we can get straight in.
Right.
And it may well
be albino or albino?
Paler-skinned nation, people on the earth, maybe have that pale skin because of this genetic experimentation to make things easier for them to work on human DNA. And in fact, Professor Steve Jones argues that this thing about vitamin D being, paler skin being there to allow vitamin D to be absorbed and so on, all these theories about why pale skin happened in the first place, he believes it's not an adequate explanation. There is no real explanation or justification for the need for pale skin at all.
Yeah, because I think if
dark skin is always an advantage in every circumstance.
Right. Because most people would just automatically assume, well, they went to live in the north where there's less sun, so therefore their skin changed colour. But that's not.
What I got from this is that they're testing on us. That's all I got from that. Yeah, I get the melanin things and stuff of that nature, but all I got from that was they're testing on black people. They're trying to run tests. They're doing experiments on us. That's all I got from that.
This is who Elon will have be the heir to his empire. This is Elon's child, X-A12. The X-A12 is a bit of a mouthful, but don't worry, he has a nickname, X. And Elon has long since been obsessed with the letter X. PayPal, one of his first companies, actually started off as X.com. And to go along with this lineup, he has Tesla, which has the Model X. He has the company SpaceX. He has the company Just X, which was formerly Twitter, and then XAI. But it wasn't his first child.
Yo, that's crazy.
X. Vivian Wilson is Elon's transgender daughter.
Is that why he named Twitter X?
Was Xavier. Her last name is Wilson and not Musk because at the age of 18 she denounced her father.
So Christopher Columbus is the Spanish name. Cristobal Colon, aka that's his real name. Christopher Columbus is to throw you off. Cristobal Colon is his real name. See, Cristobal Colon is tied to the Colon family. See, the same family that owns Colombia. See, the same family that owns District of Columbia, aka DC. That's why they say DC is not technically a part of America. See, because DC is who really has the land deed of the Corporation of America. You know what I'm saying? They got the land deed, they got the title of the 50 states. It is located in DC because DC is not a property of America. It is a property of Colombia. Hence why it's called District of Columbia. You know what I'm saying? The country of Colombia. Who owns the country of Colombia? The Cristobal Colon family. Hence the word Colon, you get the word colony. Colon, colony, colonizer. Cristobal Colon from the Colon family, aka the colonizers, start making colonies, aka the 13 first colonies that you see. Yeah, the word colony came from the Colon family, you see? Because guess what they were deciding to do? They were deciding to make a culling. What is a culling? The definition of the word culling is when you start basically doing like population control on people. You start deciding who you want to live and who you want to, transcend. You know what I'm trying to say? So the Colon or the Colon family, see, they hide him from you by changing his name and calling him Christopher Columbus. You know what I'm saying? That's how they fool you. You know what I'm saying? They change his name and call him Christopher Columbus, but his true name is Cristobal Colon. From the Colon family, the Colon Empire, the same Spanish conquistadors. See what I'm saying? You're still under the same rules to this day. That's why you're still owned by DC, District of Columbia. That's why your government is in DC. That's why your president stays in DC. You understand? Do you understand where I'm going? Please, I hope you're receiving.
Keep preaching. You gotta pay attention. Are these facts though?
Yeah. So you got the Colon family. You know what I'm saying? Cristobal Colon, aka colony, aka the colonizers. Like I was saying, before I ain't gonna let y'all go with the vibration. You know what I'm saying? So they landed on your realm, airplanes. You know what I'm saying? They divided your world, aka the Treaty of Tordesillas. You know what I'm saying? Portuguese took west. They conquered Africa using Vasco da Gama and a couple of Portuguese explorers. Over here on aka the New World, they claimed they discovered Christopher Columbus, aka Cristobal Colon, landed over here in America. Remember, in the Caribbean, they call it the West Indies. You know what I'm saying? The West Indies. Right? If you know how a map is located, or a map is designed, or how they tell you the map is, because you know that's not really the true version of the map, but they tell you that's what the map looks like. You know what I'm saying? So if you know where Portugal,
I had seen something where they say take our map and flip it, and then like it's just like when you flip our map, it's the real map. They say it's like it's flip flopped. I don't know. It's weird. It's a lot of weird stuff going on here. I'm telling you.
Portugal is, and you know where Spain is on the map, right? If one go west, right? Christopher Columbus, he was told to go west, right? If one go west from where Portugal or Spain is, in no way you gonna think you're gonna end up in India. You know what I'm saying? In no way you gonna think you're gonna end up in India. If you know how their map is set up, your map from India to go west, you're going towards the Americas. But he claimed when he landed over here, he thought he landed in India. Therefore, they called it the Indies. You know what I'm saying? Off the Indians. Oh boy, look where the country of India is. Do you know where the country of India is? India is to the east, okay? India is to the east of where they was located at. So if Columbus was told to go west, right? Columbus was told to go west, right? That's where the Treaty of Tordesillas told them to go. Spaniards, Christopher Colon, Columbus, was told to go west for the Spaniards. Portuguese was told to go east. You know what I'm saying? So from Spain or Portugal, India, modern day India, the country of India is to the east. You know what I'm saying? So he knew when he was going to America, he was lying to you when he was telling you he thought he landed in India. Don't make no sense. You gotta use common sense. Just break it down, right? We're gonna crack the code. So you gotta break the lies down to you. That's how they, you know what I'm saying? That's how they tell you. Christopher Columbus in his little silly autobiography, he called, you know what I'm saying? He thought he landed in India and he was looking for spices. You know? Stop playing with us. Oh shit, thank you. Stop playing with us. Human beings. Stop playing with us. We on you. Stop playing with us. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Stop playing with us. Nah. So we already caught him in his lies, and we know he was told to go west, and he knew that India is to the east. Matter of fact, you don't need a boat to go from Spain to India. It don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So he was supposed to be going west, but his ass ended up, you know what I'm saying, lying to you. But really, they knew what they was doing. They divided your world into two, and they both agreed, we gonna take over here, and y'all gonna take over there. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna colonize all these little people. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we see, we finna take the shit over. That's basically what they were saying to themselves. We finna take all this shit over. You know what I'm saying? Forget all you people that claim they live on there. We gonna discover it, and then, yeah. Anyway, the word discover. Let's break that word down. You got two words put together. This is used as a prefix. You know what I'm saying? To put a word together, you have prefix, suffix. You know what I'm saying? The word pre means before. You know what I'm saying? You know how I get with the words. You know what I'm saying? I love words. So Pre means before. You know what I'm saying? So suffix means what comes after. So basically a prefix would be dis. For example, it say discover. So cover would be the suffix right here. So the word cover by itself has a meaning, right? To cover something has a meaning. You know what I'm saying? When you cover something up, it has a meaning, right? You're hiding it. You're concealing it. You're literally, covering up, suppressing it from visual, from everyone to see it. However, when you discover it, basically what you're saying is, I'm uncovering what was already there. You know what I'm saying? We didn't create nothing. It was already there. We're now discovering it. We're now taking off the veil that was on it. It was already covered. Now we're just discovering it. For example, you associate yourself, right? You associate yourself. Then one would say what? Disassociate yourself from them. You know what I'm saying? You are associating yourself with the wrong gang. You know what I'm saying? You BD. You Latin King. You blood. You over there with the crypto. You know what I'm saying? You blood, but you over there with the crypt. So you going to tell the blood boy, yo, you associating yourself with the wrong gang. You with the wrong, you know what I'm saying? So on folks and them, you know what I'm saying? On folks and them, we finna put pause on your ass because you over there associate with the wrong. So you need to what? Disassociate yourself, right? So let's bring it back, right? You know I'm gonna use regular knowledge for y'all to overstand and understand because they want you to understand and no knowledge is above you. I've been telling you that for too long. Okay? Okay? Just like how the scribes, just like I seen the comment right there, exactly. The scribes had to de-scribe, that to take away. But I didn't want to go to that too much. I wanted to distract myself too much. Again, attract, distract.
There goes your World War III notes.
In this first video, we have a Russian drone flying into a building in Kyiv. This happened last night.
Wow.
And they launched 100 missiles and drones at certain locations in Ukraine. It was so bad, they actually had a blackout on live TV, and then they had to put up their background photo, as you see here. And this is as Ukraine's Kursk offensive is starting to slow down a little bit, as you can see on this map. They also hit their hydroelectric dam, which if it actually burst, it would affect millions of people in Kyiv. And here's another angle in that same location of the dam in a video. This shows a little bit after. We also have another Chinese vessel that rammed into a Filipino vessel, as you can see here.
They did that on purpose.
The Philippines is really mad about this. As they said, the Chinese gathered around 40 ships to try to push them back. Anyways, listen to this.
Accidentally ramming into somebody. Your boat.
Here's a different angle of the encounter. As you can see, different ships. You can see the one to the right. Then you're going to see a couple down in the way. And then you're going to see one that pops up to the left. Right about now. Yep. We have Ukraine that hit another oil refinery in Russia.
Oh my goodness.
Here's a drone strike that Hezbollah did on Israel. Here's the aftermath of that one. Here's another area where another drone hit. And it seems like the fighting has resumed as they took a little break after the big attack that both sides did just a couple of days ago. We have North Korea showing off their new Iranian drones that they just got on a K2 South Korean tank. Here's all the areas that got hit in Israel today, and all the areas in Ukraine that got hit today as well. And with that, let's get on with the news. We have Russia hitting energy targets after striking Ukraine with 200 drones and missiles. That was in the video that I just showed you guys. 6 people have been killed after the launch. We also have some pictures of the encounter on here. It's crazy how people will call for war and don't even know what it's like. We have Japan saying that Chinese military violated its territorial airspace for the first time. This is the first time ever that China had to make such a move. We have Ukraine warning Belarus to pull back their troops or risk a tragic mistake, as they finally acknowledged that Belarus have been gathering troops and equipment on the border. We have China saying it took control. We also have China saying they took control measures against the Philippine ships near the disputed reef. Philippines said they sent 2 ships, while China said they sent 38. Most are reporting that they sent 40, so it could have been more than 38. The United States is shifting their military planning from terrorism to tensions with Russia and China. And this is as tensions has been getting high and war is getting closer with both countries. We have the German media saying there was a Russian drone trying to sabotage their military base.
Stay out of
but thankfully they caught it right on time.
We don't need
war.
war.
The IAEA saying the global race for nuclear weapons are at a record high, signaling that we're in a more dangerous time than ever. Ukraine wants the green light to start striking Moscow and St. Petersburg with UK Storm Shadow missiles, which would be a major escalation. Here's the one about the North Korean suicide drone test. Then we have Poland saying that a drone likely entered its airspace during Russia's attack on Ukraine. They said it may have landed in Poland and searches are underway. One just fell in Romania just a couple of days ago. Isn't that wild? Things are getting crazy, but anyways, more news next.
Yo, I honestly hate watching shit like this because it's like, I don't even want to jinx us, America, but what if that stuff happens here? What are we going to do? We're not prepared. I'm sure a lot of people here in America are prepared, but more people are not prepared than people are prepared here, for sure. I know for a fact that I'm not prepared for no war. I got a little some, but I'm not prepared for no full-out war here. And I feel like I'm in where I live, I feel like I'll for sure be in the middle of that shit if there was war here. Like what are we gonna do, America, if that happens here? We all talk we all talk we all talk a lot. We all talk a good thing, you feel me? But when it really happens, man, y'all better get ready, cause I need to get ready too. I need to take my own advice.
I got a crazier one for you about what I think that dinosaurs actually were. So I am, and I hate labels, but I would say the best way to describe what I think about the Earth, I'm an old Earth creationist. So I think the Earth's very old. I think we're looking at billions of years. I think that the deluge or the flood that people know about was just one flood. I think there was a flood before that, before Adam was created. I think that there was a whole other race of people, pre-Adamites. I think that there were angel civilizations that were all across the Earth, and maybe other planets. I don't know how people feel about flat Earth and all that, but I'll just say other planets for lack of, whatever you want to think it is. We'll just say it's out past the wall then if you don't believe they're planets. But at the end of the day, I think the Earth's that old. And I think, and I've heard some theologians talk about this, that do deep dives on old Earth and Nephilim. It's a very big precedent that dinosaurs were actually created or DNA spliced by fallen entities to use to avatar in battle. So I think that we don't really know what dinosaurs looked like with skin and flesh. So they could have been more in the dragon range or dragon type of beings that they used. And the thought process is a lot of these dinosaurs had small brains, so they were easy to manipulate. So if a fallen entity could avatar them, they wouldn't have to specifically be in battle. They could just basically puppeteer these things in these angel wars that were going on across the world.
That's a crazy conspiracy. I honestly don't believe in that there was dinosaurs here. I feel like, this is my opinion, I just feel like that was all a lie. I feel like it was really just dragons and other sort of creatures here. That's just my opinion, though. What the hell?
No manches, ve. No mames, ve.
Ain't no way.
¿Ve eso? Mames, eso está bien cabrón. No manches, pa. No. Mira. Ay, Dios mío. Dios mío.
No te pases de lanza.
It's moving hella weird.
Mira.
You keep on screaming, you're gonna be next.
Man, like, why are you even that close recording? Like, I would have been gone. Or sent a few shots. Like, what?
Ay, Dios mío de mi vida. No te pases de lanza, ve.
They gotta be in a car.
La bestia.
Why not? Like, I would have ran that motherfucker over.
¿Cómo le está haciendo Naomi? Hay que pasarle por encima. Le pasaría por encima, pero.
Welcome back to the Lugao series, boys. Most of the time, it's jokes, it's fun. But to my Mexican people, what do you guys call Lugaos where y'all at? I know it's Mexico, or that he's Mexican, because he said no mames about 30 million times. You know, when Mexicans say no mames, they're not playing no games. Man's rolling on the ground. I don't know what this Lugao was doing, probably taking his soul.
Something.
Probably, yo mangel. And then, to make matters worse, you there watching somebody get ate by a lugau.
I'm saying.
And Dom just screaming next to you. Lady just screaming next to you. Now the lugau know that you're watching. Now you next. In these situations, you shouldn't make a noise.
You should be gone. Like,
that's
out of
just
there.
me. If you're not gonna leave, don't make a noise. If you're gonna sit there and watch, the lugau, take somebody. Stay quiet or just leave. There's no way you can help him. There's no way you helping that man. Hopefully this reaches...
I don't know. I feel like just black people, we probably the smartest getaway people ever. Like, I just feel like we always know what to do in these situations and scary situations when stuff goes down. We know how to exit. We know how to be quiet. We know not to do too much when something's going. I just feel like we're the best exit people. Because, like, y'all wildin'.
Has the Medea voice, then we know, okay, ha ha ha.
Right.
When he has Tyler's voice, usually his legs spread out,
Right.
and the
He's
wig
sitting there
slides back, and he's saying, okay, Cassie, don't do that, because you tried to do it, blah, blah, blah.
There's some trying times going on, and you can see it. I have Bell's palsy, and I contracted this March 11th of last year. And
Cassie Davis, an actor known for starring in Tyler Perry's House of Pain and its spin-off, The Pains, has been gracing the headlines lately, but it's nothing to smile about. The now 59-year-old Mississippi native is said to know classified dirty secrets involving her boss, Tyler Perry, that if she dares say, her life will be well on the line.
I don't know what it is, but, you know, hey, I figure when it is time for the Lord to straighten it out, he will.
So the big question is, was her alleged death a plot by Tyler Perry to keep her quiet? And just what are these secrets she knows that put her at a crossroads with the filmmaker? We got all that lined up. But first things first, what really happened between Cassie Davis and Tyler Perry?
I heard that Cassie died. I'm like, Cassie who? Like, Cassie Davis, Miss Ella, House of Pain. Bam. I was like, I just talked to her on the phone and she wasn't dead, but let me call her back.
Lately, death hoax pranks have unfortunately
She's
become
dead?
a thing. But as recently as
not.
last year, actor and film director Tyler Perry made it known that he does not find them funny. In February
That's not
last
funny
year,
at all.
the Medea creator hopped on Instagram to address a rumor that Cassie Davis, an actress in his series House of Pain, had passed away. In a social media post, the filmmaker shared a
No way.
screenshot of an article that read, American actress Cassie Davis died of lung cancer at the age of 58. In bold red text, Perry added, "This is a lie," after asking his supporters to turn the sound on for the post.
This is a house-sized orangutan caught on camera. I don't even know how this exists. This is insane. If you zoom in,
Damn!
this thing is not AI. It's an actual orangutan.
That's not a
It's
regular
huge.
size orangutan. Or is it?
There's no way them things get that big. Look at it compared to that house. There's no freaking way.
If these are that big, how are gorillas like, you know, the king of the jungles? Like, ain't no way. Unless they're just not that aggressive. Nah. Ain't no way.
This thing is ginormous.
It's huge.
Is this the missing link that scientists have been looking for? I mean, look at how gargantuan that thing is.
Like, he could really run up in that house if he wanted to.
My best guess is, I don't know, actually.
Bro.
'Cause there is no answer to what we are seeing on our screen. Now, I know freaks of nature exist, but I've never seen anything quite like this. If you have an answer...
All right, man. Nice to meet you, Kim. All right, bro.
You come in, you don't say hi to me? What's going on, dog?
Hey, Michael, I'm out.
Yo,
I'm
he
out,
got
G.
out of there as soon as that
Yeah,
dude
bro.
came.
I'm out.
As
All right,
soon
let's
as
go.
Michael Rubin came.
Huh? Yeah. I'll be here tomorrow. Don't worry. Yes, sir. I'm about to eat bananas.
He said, get that body in shape. That was random.
Yep.
Michael Rubin has always been suspicious in my eyes.
No, I don't want to party. I don't feel like it.
I bet. I wouldn't want to party either with Michael Rubin at the all-white party. From what I know, a lot of weird stuff goes down there. Hey, I don't know. But y'all see, let's watch it again. Y'all see how quick Speed got out of there as soon as Michael Rubin comes? As soon as he comes. He looks, boom. Oh, I'm gone.
All right, man. Nice to meet you, Kim. All right, bro.
You come in, you don't say hi to me? What's going on, dog?
Hey, Michael, I'm out. I'm out, G. Yeah, bro. I'm out.
Like, he didn't want no hug. He didn't want no dap up, no nothing from Michael Rubin. Something suspicious, something fishy about that.
Let's check out some of these motherfucking pictures of this Rothschild ball in 1972. Eyes wide shut type shit. Pardon me. And I'm pretty sure that movie was about this shit right here. Look at these motherfuckers. Motherfucker got a whole deer head on. I don't know what the fuck he got on his head. Y'all some weird motherfuckers.
Say that.
Weird as a motherfucker. Look at that shit.
What kind of party is
that
this?
Motherfucker got a hat on with faces on each side of that motherfucker. It's supposed to be a ball. What kind of ball, motherfucker? There ain't nothing I want to fucking attend.
At all.
You motherfuckers be doing some weirdo ass shit.
Bet you Michael Rubin went to these type of parties.
You need to stop with all the dumb shit. I'm sick of y'all. This was in 1972. Just imagine the shit they doing now. Yeah, go to the next one. Look at that shit. Creepy as a motherfucker. Imagine motherfucker knock on.
Okay, it's weird as hell to see these people wear this stuff, but like if you look at history in like Africa, they be wearing some weird stuff too. They be wearing, but I don't want to compare the two. I really don't, because here in America, they do be on some weird stuff, like weird stuff. I don't want to compare the two. I'm just saying how they dress. Both ways, it's weird. But I feel like they dress and go to these parties and then do more at these type of parties and etc. And they meet up for a reason, a huge reason. Like the Africans I'm talking about, like they probably they're celebrating their culture. Now these niggas, like
on your door late at night, you open that motherfucker and that's at the door. Pum, 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 like a motherfucker. Weirdo ass shit. Go to the next one. What the fuck is that supposed to be?
Okay, now I'm mad that I even compared the two. Because they do some face paint and all that stuff. Piercings, okay, cool. That's normal culture for them in Africa. But I don't think this type of stuff is not culture. Maybe it's their culture. I don't know. Let's keep watching.
I don't know what you are supposed to be, lady. And this motherfucker got a whole canvas painted on his motherfucking face.
I really hate that I just compared the two. I really do, because there's a big difference. Because these type of parties they do is
the sky and shit. You little weirdo motherfuckers. The motherfuckers that be running this world be on some weirdo ass shit. Maybe that's what they really look like on their motherfucking planet. Because I don't think none of these motherfuckers really from this planet. I ain't gonna motherfucking hold you. Y'all need to go back to where the fuck you came from. That's a big fact. Look at these motherfuckers.
Is that a blackface?
Come on now. Who designed the costumes for this shit? Is that a hand? That's a hand speaker little thing. One of them one shits they had back in the day. Why is that on your head, lady?
Oh, that's on her head?
And that motherfucker got hands coming out his motherfucking head. You motherfuckers are big weird. Go to the next one. And that motherfucker look like a Hook. Yeah, from the Peter Pan movie back in the motherfucking day. On the left, he looked like motherfucking Hook. And hold on.
Who she look like?
If you squint your eyes just a little bit, it's a whole motherfucking face behind they motherfucking ass.
Yeah, I already seen
They didn't even peep that shit to just now.
You don't gotta squint your eyes.
Crazy shit. What's up with you motherfuckers with these faces?
No, that's weird.
Huh? Oh, I just thought about some shit. You know, in the book of Revelation and shit, the dragon and guys supposed to have multiple motherfucking heads. Look at that shit right there. These motherfuckers demons. Your demons out this motherfucker. Fuck y'all. Go to the next one. Creepy as a motherfucker.
Yeah, see.
Especially that motherfucker in the middle.
Yeah.
All you motherfuckers creepy as a motherfucker. Y'all always doing some creepy shit. Why you can't never do regular daggler shit?
I feel like all this is like devil worship type stuff. These parties, these masks. That's the feeling I'm getting. That's the energy they giving off to me.
Y'all always gotta do some creepy weird shit all the time. All you elite motherfuckers. But you really ain't elite. You're pieces of shit. Fuck y'all. Go to the next one. Ooh. Let me put some big ass horns or antlers on my motherfucking head. It's gonna look cool as a motherfucker. No, it don't. You look creepy as a motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Dog. What y'all got in that motherfucking gold bowl?
Some blood.
I bet you the liquid look just like my motherfucking hoodie. Guarantee it, dog.
What'd I say?
You little weirdo motherfuckers. And guess what? I'm telling you right now, you be seeing all these motherfucking celebrities at these big ass parties. We don't know. Like, what's the shit they be going to? They be dressing crazy as a motherfucker. They just went to that shit and we said, fuck all the celebrities, let's block them. And I still see you motherfuckers love y'all some celebrities. So a lot of you motherfuckers ain't block a motherfucking thing. What was that shit called? Ah, fuck it. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. They still doing this shit. You only see them on the carpet. They go into that motherfucker. Raise all that motherfucking money for some bullshit.
Some bull.
What they doing inside that motherfucker? Huh? You motherfuckers are weirdos. Crazy part is, these sleep sheeple motherfuckers think we the motherfuckers that's weird.
Tonight's video contains some of the most disturbing information that I've ever come across, and I think this is our most important video to date. In tonight's documentary, we explore Midnight Productions, the mythical almost group that supposedly has been preying on homeless individuals, men, women, and children in Arizona for decades now. And in this documentary, we talked to ex-law enforcement officials who claimed almost half of the Phoenix Police Department to this day believes in Midnight Productions. We talked to homeless individuals living on the streets in Phoenix who also claimed they had seen Midnight Productions, they knew them, they knew people who disappeared or were disappeared by them. And it gets into some really, really disturbing stuff. The paranormal activity and evidence that we captured in the video also led us to locations that you're going to see in the video. We found some incredibly disturbing, shocking stuff. We got some direct answers, and online, everywhere you look, when you bring up Midnight Productions, everyone just says it's this big myth. But if you start looking beyond that, I think you're going to see that there is something incredibly sinister, dark, disturbing, and twisted happening in Arizona that nobody is talking about. So this is a passion project that I've worked on for months. We filmed this back in April, and I am really, really excited to give this information out to you guys. Please help me out by sharing tonight's premiere, joining in, leaving a comment and a like, and boosting it.
You're not going to show the video, bro?
I'll see you guys soon.
He's not showing the video on this one. No, because, like, I'm sure everything he's saying is facts. There's a lot of pedophilia out there. There's a lot of pedophiles out there. Gross.
You know, black people hate everything about slavery except Christianity.
Here we go.
Well, it depends on what you think Christianity is. So for me, Christianity isn't what Christians have made it to be.
I'm talking about
It's
the
not.
Western belief of Christianity. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like that, because that's our society's structure. That's our fundamentals.
Well, just because slave masters use Christianity doesn't mean they.
That's what that's the point.
Yeah.
If God's word is everlasting, how can you change the word of God that's everlasting to suit your personal benefit?
Yeah, they weren't.
How can you do that
Well,
and expect me to take this shit seriously?
Yeah, the devil does that. The devil uses the word. Oh, the enemy uses the word. I tell people all the time, just because you quoting the scripture don't mean anything. The enemy uses the word all day long.
Absolutely. However, what I'm trying to say is, ain't God people supposed to stand up and defend the word of God against the devil's use of the word?
I think so.
Okay, so let's just say the first time this was brought to my attention was when we got married. And I was expecting, I was like, going through the vows and whatever, and to have, hold, for better or for worse, sickness and health, to honor and obey. And they said, whoa, we don't say obey no more. What do you mean you don't say obey no more? And I wasn't tripping off I want her to obey me, because how I saw it was, if she got to obey me, I got to obey her. So I didn't see it as any kind of way that would, put me in a more authoritative position than it would her. But the fact that it was read from a Bible.
Yeah.
And I was being told that out of this Bible, these words had changed. The everlasting word of God never changes.
No, it doesn't.
So therefore, how can I take this shit seriously?
Well, a lot of the words are changing.
Well, they've got so many different versions. It's
I know because I had to, to preach a sermon. And when I read the Bible 10, 11 years ago, the words that were there are no longer there today. I am literally talking about the exact same version, because there were certain scriptures that I, had an affinity for, and they don't say the same thing. So things where there were he and she, it says person.
You can't do that.
See,
you cannot change the word of God.
Which version is that?
It's
King
all
James?
over the New International Version. That where it was he and she, it is person.
You can't do that.
It is, and I'm like,
you are contradicting the concept.
See, this new generation stuff, they're taking he and she out and putting person. Isn't that crazy? Just knowing what's going on in this generation now with all these nouns, like when people say like what do they say? Like what is it called? Just the pronouns of people like he, she, them. People are like going that way now. So the fact that they changed that in the Bible is ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
The everlasting word of God.
The Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect, or it's all part of their plan, the devil's plan. They're on some weird shit.
No. Yeah. It most certainly is not. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, I can't really wrap my mind around it. Because, it's kind of like, if you challenge this, you got to challenge everything else.
Absolutely.
Did Moses really, split the Red Sea? You know what I mean? Did Noah really build an ark and sail in a flood? Did any of this shit that we saying happen? Is all of it just philosophical interpretations of the times of then and now? Because there's a lot of things, like I will admit, even with all of my, how can I say, all of my questions, concerns, and critiques of the Bible and Christianity's use of the Bible. One thing about me that I can't lie to myself. And I know that God is real.
Yes. Now that right there.
God is real. Religion
everything.
Is bullshit.
Absolutely.
God is real. Religion is here to control people.
Absolutely.
Religion is here to control the thoughts, intentions, minds,
of
and
the masses.
Exactly.
I ain't even gotta say nothing. He said it all for me. I literally was talking about this to my girl today, and I always talk about this type of stuff because I be on the same type of time.
Getting your feelings about things that have been said, but I want you guys to pay attention to what has been done. They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game.
I love her energy.
See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families?
Oh my God.
Hey, that's their plan.
I wonder if Mrs. Willie Brown, a black woman, is also with her. A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected.
She talking her smack. Hey, she talking. She preaching.
Did I lie?
Wow. Not at all.
The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours.
Wow.
When asked if she would ever do anything specifically for black people, she said no. Whereas Trump gave us the Platinum Plan, which specifically uplifted the black community by increasing capital by almost $500 billion, creating 500,000 new black businesses, and would give black churches the ability to fight for federal resources for their communities.
Wow, wow, wow. I think that is so impressive by this young lady. And if you don't know what she's referencing, so most of you guys might not even know that much about Kamala Harris's record, but she got her start in San Francisco as literally the worst DA. I mean, the beautiful thing about Michaela Montgomery is she's listed nothing but facts. Whereas Kamala has been the presumptive nominee, virtually elected in some very strange, bizarre fashion online with zero transparency, hasn't earned a single vote, hasn't earned a single primary vote. She has nothing. She doesn't stand for anything. We don't know what she believes. She hasn't done any press conferences, any interviews. All she does is attack Trump, and her track record is absolutely abominable. So when she's referencing, Kamala's past, this is a woman who got her start having an affair with a married man, Mayor Willie Brown, back in Northern California, in San Francisco. She was the state's and city's worst DA. San Francisco is an absolute dystopia. She became the AG, the Attorney General for California, and then left that and became the DEI hire vice president with zero qualifications, zero tracker, just because she fit all those check boxes. So there's literally zero substance coming from the Kamala Harris campaign, like zero. Didn't get elected, didn't earn a vote, has zero qualifications, an obvious DEI hire, which the President Biden himself said that was the only reason that he picked her. What I love about Michaela Montgomery is she is stating facts. She is stating actual data. How has Trump helped the African American community? How has he injected capital, equity, real jobs, real...
See, I don't like Camilla. I don't like Trump. But we got to pick somebody, right? Somebody gonna win. Now, Trump, he does way more for the black community than Harris. And honestly, it's obviously going to be one or the two. It's Harris or Trump. That's it. You can say, oh, but there's more people running. Be real. It's only Harris and Trump. So you got to pick one. And whoever's going to lift us up, I'm with it. But at the same time, I'm going to be like, I don't even know if I want to vote. But I feel like my vote don't matter. I ain't going to lie. But then again, I can't think like that because we came a long way just to vote. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. It's a tough situation.
The head of India's space agency was asked in an interview earlier this week, why do UFO sightings only occur over the Americas? He gave an interesting two-part answer. Let's take a listen to what his response was.
Scientific helps you discover the unknown. Scientistic makes you reject the unknown.
Maybe that's a good definition.
But let's actually speak about this alien situation, sir. How come UFOs are only spotted in America and South America? That's where you hear most of it.
See, many a times these type of observations are much more feasible in the northern latitudes, southern latitudes. See, equatorial region are always cloudy. If you look at Africa, India, or the South Asian, all those nations are in the equator. The Northern European and American are in the northern latitudes. And on the southern latitude, you don't have any nation other than Australia.
Gotcha.
So, if any events of this nature, especially the events in the sky where there is, for example, auroras, you are able to see in the northern side. The solar related effects are mostly seen in the northern side. Even the cyclones and other activities are more on the other sides, not on the equator. Equator has a different climatic conditions, and mostly it is covered. The sky is mostly dark, not blue. If you go to US, you will see the sky to be more bluer than in India. It's not due to pollution alone. It's due to various the content of water vapor in there and many things. So this is scientific.
Right.
Now there is non-scientific reason. Americans have a nature to detect so many things all around and make a story out of it. And many of the UFO stories are mostly fabricated stories, not the real stories.
Many of them are.
Yeah.
But some of them might be true.
Maybe true. Because I can't comment on it because I have not seen it yet.
The full wide-ranging interview with Dr. S. Samanth, who's the chairman of ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, is fascinating and well worth the watch. You can watch it at The Ron Veer Show on YouTube. And he gave us two answers to the UFOs over America's question. One being the usual answer people bring up, which is Americans like to fabricate stories, be the center of attention, etc., etc. But his other part to the answer I did find interesting because you don't hear it as often, which is that there is a feasibility difference about your ability to even have a sighting in the first place based on whether you're closer to the equator versus closer to the poles. And that was, again, an interesting first principles perspective to get added to the lexicon. So, yes, the majority of sightings are either prosaic or fabrications, but there is still the 1% to 2% that is curious. And that's not only in the public sphere, but that's also what we hear coming out of official programs like the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, which still has a set of cases, 1% to 2% of the time, that show anomalous behaviors that don't yet have a prosaic explanation.
Kanye West and Candace Owens talk about something very interesting on their podcast, and it's about alcohol and the dangers of drinking alcohol. And this is why, if you're a child of God or anybody out there listening, stop drinking alcohol.
Hey, I'm not perfect.
Let's watch. Keep the temple clean.
But you want to hear something like, did you know the word alcohol is
from the spirit alcohol?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You knew that?
Yes.
I believe that.
It is.
It literally, kills your spirit and allows demons to come in. You know what I mean? And take over. And I 100% believe that.
I can say this since this is our podcast. You know who's I want to say alcohol I had inside me, but I don't know. Hennessy.
Wow, it's interesting.
Hennessy. It turns us gray. And literally, the demons
just come in. Yeah, no, I was fascinated when I learned that, the history of that. And it's literally because when you drink, you become a different person. It's almost literally like a spirit has taken.
Okay, I've heard a lot of people say things like this, and I used to believe it, but then again, like, I really sat down and thought about it. Like, I feel like that's true to a sense, but it also depends on who you are as a person. Me, like, I used to drink Hennessy and all that. I've never, when I used to get drunk and all that off Hennessy and other liquors, I've never turned into like, oh, there's a demon inside of me. I'm going to act this way, a demonized way. I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to go do bad things. I've never did that. Every time I got drunk, and I've gotten super drunk, I blacked out. But I always remember what's going on, what happened. I'm always, like, when I get drunk, I'm aware of what's going on. So, like I said, I feel like it depends who you are and what type of person you really are deep down inside. Because when I get drunk, I'm jolly. I'm happy. I like to hug people. I like to talk more. I don't get all demon side. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I feel like it depends who you are and who you really are deep down inside. That's my opinion. Maybe it does. Maybe it makes it easier for spirits to take over, like they said. But to me, they were like, it's automatically demon spirits. Maybe it's a godly spirit to some people. For me, I feel like it's a godly spirit. Because like I said, I get jolly and all that. Just my opinion, though.
There's this article that came out 1934 in the LA Times. It was called Lizard People's Catacomb City Hunted Underneath Los Angeles, California.
Shut up.
Interesting. This man named G. Warren Schufelt, and he had developed this X-ray penetrating technology to where he could scan different rocks and stuff. He was in LA on this hill called Fort Moore Hill, and he drilled like 200 something feet down, stuck it down, and he's like, what the heck? There's tunnels and really big rooms and a lot of gold. He's like, what the heck is this? He was telling someone about it, and they're like, you need to come meet someone. But before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys that more and more people have reported that their phones were being spied on by a blue radio app. This can appear on your phone at any time. To check that this does not happen, click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately. So he went to Arizona and he met with Little Chief Greenleaf. This Hopi elder said, what you just discovered is one of 3 lost cities along the Pacific coast. There was this people group called the Lizard People. They were called the Lizard People because their idol was a lizard. This Hopi was like, this was a civilization. He said they were so far advanced technology-wise that they had this chemical that they would use to basically bore out the tunnels. So they didn't use shovels and picks. He described the Lizard People's city being amongst these certain hills that exactly line up to where this guy found the thing.
Wow.
There's this article that came out 1934 in the LA Times. It was called
Oh my gosh, get out of there. Y'all see that? At the bottom of the slides. This is another reason why I say I feel like black people are the greatest scapegoats. We're the greatest. We see some shit like this. 40-yard dash, 1.5. Out of here. Like, why are y'all even still up there? Once I would have seen them legs, I'm out of there, gone. I might just jump off the motherfucker. Or, that motherfucker coming up, I'm sliding down the other side. Oh my goodness. Y'all like y'all move too slow. This is another reason why I be thinking shit be fake. Cause people just look at shit and then they move slow.
From the private company and pay them a ton of money for it. I mean, it's just absolutely, it's just avarice and greed,
Got it.
and
So that makes sense. So they want like a broader public knowledge or surface area on the topic, but they don't want any of their IP taken out of the company.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
They want to make as much money as possible on it. And here we have an event taking place of the world getting ready to be made aware of the fact that there's this humongous other civilization around us in our galaxy.
What's the evidence that it's extraterrestrial and not some time traveler
the fact that people have been face to face with them and had telepathic communications.
Sure, but for everyone that says they're from Zeta Reticuli, they also say they're from the future, and they're also super deceptive and say all sorts of other crazy stuff.
Those are people in the UFO community who say all that. They kind of make up stuff. But the fact of the matter is just as plain as day.
No, but I mean, if you look at the Edgar Mitchell database, any of the databases around this stuff, I actually think it's split. Like, I don't think it's clear that they're from another planet. In fact, there's one hominid species on Earth that's sentient, upright, bipedal, that has advanced technology, and it's us. And there are 20 billion Earth-like planets in the Milky Way galaxy, but there are over 1 trillion non-Earth-like planets. So, and we're seeing a thing that looks like us.
Yeah.
They're hominid. So the likelihood of evolutionary convergence on a totally foreign planet is just super, super slim. And so the Occam's razor explanation would actually be that there's something emanating from, they're sort of related to mankind. And they could be interstellar. They could be a different timeline interacting with us. I just think we have to widen the aperture of possibilities.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, but not to the point of just obfuscating the obvious.
Sure. There's a thing. There's a phenomena.
Yeah.
But I do think it's called the phenomena for a reason, because it's sort of really hard to classify.
Well, it's because the conversation that you're talking about now has assiduously excluded all the evidence of face-to-face contact that people have had. I mean, there are thousands of people who've had face-to-face contact in telepathic communications with the actual occupants of the craft, which there's this huge effort to kind of pretend that isn't true. Like that isn't true because there aren't enough government-circled people and scientific community people who've affirmed it yet.
Well, that's a good segue into the first UFO-related person you represented is John Mack.
That's right.
And John Mack was the head of the Harvard Psychiatry Department, and I think he, through his friend Bud Hopkins, his childhood friend, right, started to see all these cases, these people who no mental health history.
Right.
It wasn't even always through hypnotic regression.
Right.
They would just say, I had these experiences where I was abducted by, these aliens. And he started to take it very seriously. And so, yeah, what do you think about John Mack and his investigations?
Well, I represented him for 10 years and met dozens of people that he had worked with, was involved in vetting them to determine which ones were credible and which ones weren't, what detailed information they had, and have talked to several absolutely, totally credible witnesses that I could put in front of any American jury, and the jury would be absolutely clear that they were telling them the truth, who have had direct face-to-face contact with one or more of these extraterrestrial beings. They have them in American underground military bases.
They have the beings.
They have the beings.
What? So
they've interviewed the beings. I've talked to people who were there when they were interviewing the beings.
Where are the beings?
That particular one was at S4.
In Area 51.
Outside of Area 50, about 11 miles away.
I would totally distrust that, but I have some good friends who are very trustworthy. So they're a couple, and the husband broke the world record for the biggest wave ever surfed in Nazaré, Portugal. His name's Garrett McNamara, and her name's Nicole, and they're very good people, and they would never lie.
Yeah.
And they have a friend
just name
who
dropping.
worked at Area 51, or might be a friend of a friend, but they met him. And he was totally traumatized, and after having worked there.
Yes.
And he said that he was led down into a basement.
That's right.
And he saw reptilian creatures, and they were speaking English.
Well, they're telepathic.
What would y'all do if y'all just walked downstairs, or you just walked in your kitchen, and you see reptilians? Like, we all think about aliens and all, but how do you feel you would react if you really seen one? How do you think you would react if you really seen one? Like, be real with yourself. The person that you are. Would you be scared? Would you freeze? You think you'd be like, oh, hey, me? I don't know. I'm like, fa. Bullets bounce off. It's over. But then again, if I shoot first, and then them bullets don't work, imagine what he got for me, a reptilian. Imagine what he got for me.
They're telepathic, and they talk French to French people. They talk German to.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be friendly first. See what he on. But if you try some weird shit, hey.
German people, but they're telepathic.
But isn't that weird? That's strange, though, right?
Strange, yes. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
So, but then, like, if they're that advanced, they're telepathic, they can fly, faster than light, then how the hell do we corral them into underground bases against their will? Or are they happy to be kept?
Well, the one of the ones that I was talking to the guy who was there when they were interviewing one of them, it was clear that it was voluntary, that the extraterrestrial being was voluntarily talking with them, was having telepathic communications, so he was being interviewed.
They're just kind of hanging out in these bases.
Well, I wouldn't put it that way.
What do they want? Why are they there?
What happened is Albert Stein was this guy's name. He called me on his deathbed. He was dying up in northern Minnesota. Called me and wanted me to come and see him right away because he was dying, and so I flew there and went and met him at the hospice, and he's sitting there with all the tubes in him and dying, and he said, look, he had to tell somebody about this, that he was United States Army, was assigned as a clerk typist to Project Blue Book. And that while Blue Book had this whole buffaloing operation going on, telling people that it was swamp gas and, birds that they had misidentified, that there were over 700 actual sightings that they found it absolutely impossible to discount, that they couldn't come up with, because too many people had seen him, there were too many corroborating witnesses, there was radar tracking and everything. And he was assigned to the group that was investigating those sightings. And he would just sit, and they'd send people out to interview all the people that had seen one of these things, and then they would come back and give him their reports, and he would type them all up. And he was there for years, and got to be close friends with the guy who was the commander of that unit. And the guy came into him after a number of years. They shared certain kind of religious views, he with the commander. And the commander came in and told him that he was going to be going to Area 51 and wanted him to come with him as the clerk typist, just to kind of monitor what they were doing. So they went to Area 51. They got taken to S4, went down a number of flights down to S4, and they came to this area where there was this a big room with a two-way mirror in it, and there was an extraterrestrial being there. He was like, 5.5 feet, almost 6 feet tall, had a kind of a light blue jumpsuit on that they'd given him, and he was standing there. And this guy, Albert, wouldn't go near him. He was just traumatized by the guy. And he said he thought he was demonic and didn't want to go near him. But his commander went in and was having this telepathic communication going on with him. And so he stayed outside, and the people that were there staffing the area, they showed him, they had these card files where they had been interviewing the being voluntarily. And he was answering questions that they had. And one of the questions was, where do you come from? And he said that he was part of a group of beings that were from different star systems in our galaxy, and that they were part of a team that were going around inside the galaxy, checking on places where life had actually begun on different planets, and they were sort of monitoring what they were doing. And they asked the follow-up question. They said, well, who's in charge of that? What kind of, they didn't say it this way, but what kind of juridical entity, is there that's coordinating this kind of a thing? And he said, well, you people would refer to it as God, but it's very different from what you think. That's what he said.
Wait a minute.
They specific a team that were going around inside the galaxy, checking on places where life had actually begun on different planets, and they were sort of monitoring what they were doing. And they asked the follow-up question. They said, well, who's in charge of that? What kind of, they didn't say it this way, but what kind of juridical entity, is there that's coordinating this kind of a thing? And he said, well, you people would refer to it as God, but it's very different from what you think. That's what he said.
What you mean by that?
And so they specifically said that they were from different star systems and different planets inside our galaxy. And there he was.
Did he go more into the God thing? How it's different than
he did? That's what he told me.
We need more information about the God thing.
He wanted to share that with me, and he said that he didn't believe him. He didn't believe it because he thought he was demonic, and therefore he wasn't ever going. He never told anybody about this in his life, and he was dying, so he wanted to tell me that this had happened.
This guy was on his deathbed.
Yeah.
Really? What's his name?
His name is Albert Stein.
Albert Stein. He was a
clerk typist, U.S. Army clerk typist
for Blue Book,
assigned to Blue Book, to this special division of Blue Book.
Okay, guys, we are at the end of this video. We just went through a lot of crazy information. Make sure you do your research on everything. Don't just believe every video that you watch. Like I said in the beginning, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe. You're doing me a big favor by subscribing, guys. A huge favor. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sitting here through the whole video. And that's all I got for you guys. Peace.